line for you.
Cookie.
Your life is already together. What are you talking? He's your husband. What are you talking about?
I understand your husband. He wants to be
your husband, fam.
He wants to be. Wait. He wants to be materialistic and go and buy a small car. Go and drive the car. When you fixed your credit, now you can go and take out the loan. But when you want to be a big boy.
Hey guys, listen. Welcome to Little Black Book 91. Little Black Book, you know what time it is. Listen, it's your favorite coach. Listen. We're going to talk about part 2 of this back chat. I decided to go through it again, and I picked out important parts that maybe a few of them kind of said certain things, and I want to break it all the way down. First and foremost, I want to say this. I think this conversation it's a debate, right? So I'm going to be facetious when I make my judgments, okay? Meaning I'm going to make comments and judgments, and it's not the full totality because we don't know them anymore beyond this particular debate. But what I would say is this. The argument that they're having is about 35k loan. Basically, the issue is there's a 35k loan that the gentleman, there's a husband and wife, and the husband wants a 35k loan car, right? He went to his wife, and his wife said no. So then he went to his best friend, and the best friend, who's a female, ended up giving him the loan for the 35k, right? So he can go and buy the car. Wife finds out, she says, take it back, otherwise we are done. Okay. Now, in part 1, I kind of spoke about my thought process and what I felt about the situation. I'll give you a quick summary once more again. If you're in a relationship and a marriage and you are a team, right, you can't the men can't complain about the women saying how the woman's not supporting them and then go outside and choose and ask another woman to help them out, right? That doesn't make sense. If you're a team and someone says no, right, you might want to work harder at your actual graft or work harder at petitioning to your partner to be on your side. But if you go outside, you are causing a violation to your relationship. And then what you're actually saying is, I don't care what you say, I'll do whatever I want. And whenever we have a I do whatever I want relationship, I can tell you now, carnage is only to follow. Carnage. You do not want a relationship where people are saying, I will do whatever I want. I will do whatever I want. Whenever you're in a relationship, I will do whatever I want. I can guarantee your relationship is on the edge of falling down. No, the Bible says that a man is the head and a woman is the body, right? But the reality of the situation, that man is also submitted to God. You can't do whatever you want to do because God is the one that's the head of over us both. So you cannot do whatever I want. It does not work like that. You understand? If you do that, you become a dictatorship and you do not become a partnership, which you're supposed to be in a marriage, right? The Bible says that the wife is like the Holy Spirit, and the Holy Spirit is called a helpmeet. You are in partnership. You are not in a dictatorship where you can do whatever you want. If you want to do that, there's countries that have shown you what a dictatorship looks like, right? That's not what you want. Okay, so that being said, let's get into this video. I'm going to break down specific people and their arguments in regard to that particular specific situation. 35k loan, taking it out. What are people saying? Okay, first one I'm going to deal with is Ashley, because I think her arguments were quite interesting, and she was the first person I kind of had a thought process to. So just listen to Ashley. You're going to hear in a few seconds.
Please
okay?
take out a loan. I want to buy this car, and you decide that you don't want to do it. I think that's very concerning. To me, I would tap out of the relationship. I'm done.
How do you even have the confidence? No, how do you have the confidence to go and ask somebody else to do something for you? You're a man.
I'm in uni. I'm 22.
Okay. Now, I don't know if you heard that. She said, how do you have the confidence to say this when you are a man, right? Basically talking about the boys saying about them going out to get a 35k loan from the friend. And she's saying, how do you have the confidence to say this when you are a man? And the first thing I heard was she's already attaching shame to that man. And whenever you do that, that's going to cause carnage in your relationship. If you're willing to go straight to labeling and shaming, I can guarantee that relationship is not going to work very long, okay? Because only a man or a woman can only take so much shaming, embarrassing, and guilt. Let me tell you, that's the start of contempt. When the moment you start wanting to shaming your partner, you are in the basis of getting to contempt, and contempt is one of the 4 henchmen that bring marriages into failure. So don't do it. Don't start bringing shame to your partner. That was it, first and foremost. Now, she speaks a little bit later on, and I want to play a little bit more of the clip because I also was clocking a bit of the mindset about what she was saying. Again, remember, this is a debate, so I'm also going to be open to that as well.
Oh, but you need to go and speak to a financial advisor because that's not me. And while you're speaking to a financial advisor, get a bus or a taxi because you need to suffer the consequences of your actions. I wasn't there when you did those actions, so why do I need to suffer with you?
But the question is.
Now, the thing is, I hear what she's saying, right? She wasn't there when you made these mistakes and you got yourself into a bad credit situation, but you married him. So now you're actually a team. Now, I do understand the fear behind this, and this is why these conversations are really important. Because if you're talking about marriage and relationship, then we have to have a further conversation. Our first reaction can be an emotion, and our feelings can get hit. Our feelings can be said, but you have to be very careful what you say because your words are going to hold weight. And so now, how you feel is okay. right? We should validate how you feel. But if you say certain stuff, just know someone's going to receive it and internalize it. Gotta be very, very careful. So, like she said, obviously, I wasn't there when I suffered those consequences, and all I could really hear was that she's going to. She's not in a team mindset. This is what you did, so this is a you mindset. This ain't nothing to do with me. I'm not involved. Your thing shouldn't be affecting me. Reality of the situation, when you're in a marriage, it affects both of us, which is why he should not just be taking out a 35k loan with a friend, right? Because it affects both of you. So I understood what she meant, but it did sound very individualistic, and you're going to hear in this next point when she replies to Gabs, and you'll hear a bit more.
You need these things to make yourself look what you need to look. So I'm going to now take it out for you. Would you like me to take it out for you?
Gabriel, listen,
Would you like
Gabriel.
to take it out for you? Yes or no?
Yes, I would love for you to take out the loan for me. But what you said is, even if I'm not showing you like any signs that I actually do believe in the goal that I have set for myself, and I have no actions whatsoever to show you that this is what I want, and you still give me the loan, I'm going to think you're stupid.
You're stupid.
Yeah, because you have to see it. Even when you do apply for a loan from a bank, they expect to see. Even when you do apply for like a business loan, you have to have a business plan.
I mean, she has a good point there, right? If you're gonna take out a loan and you haven't seen any potential in me and you haven't seen me put in the work and the graft, you are a fool, and I can't lie to you. I definitely agree with that. Now, I think my perception of what I got from Ashley was that, hey, look, I need my man to hold it down and he needs to be on point. The moment he's not on point, I'm gonna feel unsafe and I'm probably gonna say something that's probably not gonna help the situation. You know what I mean? So that's the kind of perception I got from her. Now, it may be completely different, but what I gauged from her in the interaction when she kind of said that, very beautiful girl, by the way. When I gauged from that in situation was that you have only got a limited space to mess up before she starts saying some stuff to you. And for a man, whenever we hear that, that is not a good sign. We don't feel comfortable. We don't feel safe. That's going to make us feel like, you know what, we're not believed in. And at any moment, you can vacate the premises and leave us. Look how she said you should just go out there and sit in a bus and suffer the consequences. Didn't feel like you're really in a team. That's how some men, I believe, will actually interpret it as well. So let's go on to Cookie quickly, because I think she really catching my eye, and shout out to her, she commented in the video as well. Okay, so Cookie gonna come out. I think she's funny, I can't lie to you. Cookie is absolutely funny, hilarious. I don't know what country she's from, but that woman is funny. I can't lie to you, okay? All right?
Has taken out something in her name for a man.
That changes
Wait, let me finish. It's never happened to me because I don't do that. That's not my style.
Okay.
First of all. Secondly, do you know how many times you take it out for a man, you guys end up breaking up? Who's gonna pay it? Because I know I'm not paying it.
Your name, Auntie, you have to pay that.
I'm not
But
paying it.
the question is asking us here.
Now, I think that initial statement told me exactly where Cookie was, right? Soon she said, listen, I'm not paying it. And you're going to see another clip in a second or two. Like, if I take this loan out, right? And she's going to tell you a story. That story's going to tell you what she's seen and experienced and what she's internalized. Is that, oh my God, like what men will end up doing is they'll leave you with the debt and the loan and you'll end up paying it. So what do we hear? We hear fear. We hear that her partner, due to fear of past experiences that she's seen or she's gone through herself, she can't trust that man. So guess what she's going to do? She ain't going to do it. You ain't taking out a 35k loan. Now, can I be honest with you? You shouldn't be taking out a 35k loan if you've got bad credit anyway. I don't know why the hell you're taking out a 35k loan. So you're hearing straight away that there's a fear in there, right? And so she can't give herself to that situation. The problem with that is that limits you in a relationship at points as well, right? Let me just play this little clip here as well.
Stories of someone taking out a loan for somebody.
When they were married. And they were married.
Yes, I know women that have taken out phones for men. I know women that have taken out money loans for men. And what happens? They end up dumping the girl and they're living their best life with another woman while she's there having to pay off the debt. That changes it from...
Now, that's a very valid fear if you've seen it happen, right? And many people have seen many things. So I wouldn't put it past her. We've seen it, right? We see Tion Wayne and the Lani Good situation. It happens. This is not a thing that doesn't happen. It happens. And so she has absolutely valid fears. Now, what we do need to do, though, is that when you're in a relationship and a marriage, you've chosen to be with that person, we're going to have to work on those fears, right? Now, I'm not saying take out a 35k loan. I think this also comes with wisdom, and I think that's fair. But I think you're going to have to shift your position. You saying that you're never going to do this for a man, no man can ever get anything from me, nothing you can get from me, instantly puts a man on the back for that. So why are we here? Because in reality, you're never going to help me. If I'm falling down, you're never going to pick me up. You're going to expect me to do all the labor and the work. And in that case, I haven't got a teammate. I got another dependent, right? So in that place, they're not going to want that, right? So that's what I picked up and I said, okay, you know, I definitely understand that perspective as well. So, you know, she's going to have to talk about what's going to make her feel secure. What's going to make you feel secure, Cookie? what does a man need to do also as well? This is the kind of conversation she could potentially be having in future is, what kind of conversation does she need to have with her man to make her feel secure enough that if a situation like that does arise, how would she be able to support him? You know what I mean? Why, so because a lot of what we're talking about is the fear of something, and women are not the only one. Men have the same thing, right? The man is also fearing that you won't support him in that space, and that could make him go outside of the relationship. See, that man that went outside of a relationship to his best friend is fear. Why would you go out? Why would you not continue the conversation with your wife a little bit more to say, hey babe, I know you said no, I've got a plan, I've got a vision, I've got goals, I've got this, and lay it out. I know how I'm going to repay this. Why didn't you give her a vision and a goal, right? Went straight to your friend instead. That tells me you're operating at a place of fear and arrogance too. So yes, I both men and women can play into this role as well. I quickly want to talk about obviously Dami, because oh boy, Dami, yeah, you got caught out, bro, and yeah. Okay.
Bad credit.
No,
Not me.
no, listen. And you married him with bad credit.
If your man is asking you,
This
please
is
take
Dami.
out a loan, I want to buy this car, and you decide that you don't want to do it, I think that's very concerning. To me, I would tap out of the relationship. That's I'm done.
How do you even have the confidence? No, how do you?
Now he said, listen, for him, he will tap out the relationship. Yeah. Because then let's see what he says later on, right? If the woman doesn't support him, he'll tap out the relationship, which I understand. As a man, I want to be fair. I understand. I've been in relationships in my past, and I looked at and I said there were certain women who didn't believe in my dream, right? And it's very painful. I didn't necessarily exit the relationship, but it definitely was painful not to have a woman that you wouldn't believe in. So again, we need to communicate this very clearly, right? It is painful to have a woman who doesn't believe in. This is where the conversation should flow to, which actually Gabs was trying to really get to, but the way he explained it, it was like, you know what I mean? But Gabs was actually explaining the guy in a white t-shirt at the very far end, which is like, if I have a dream and I have a vision, right, and a goal, and actually him and Lois had a really good conversation. If I'm trying to build a dream, I want you to believe in a dream, which is fair, right? But like Ashley said in the pink dress, while you're saying that, there needs to be evidence, which is potential is actually evidence. Potential isn't no evidence at all. It's not just you talking. Potential actually has evidence attached to it. I just haven't reached a fruition to where I got to. You know what I'm saying? Nobody supports you just blindly. They're like, I can see potential because I'm seeing the work that you put in. I'm seeing the effort. I'm seeing the consistency. I'm seeing, some budding fruit. And so therefore I'm going to invest in you. But we don't invest in nothing. It just doesn't happen like that. You know what I mean? A sensible person wouldn't just invest in like that. Do you know what I mean? So, but let's see what Dami says a little bit later on and how he gets himself a little bit caught out in this situation as well, right? Because he gets caught out.
You went to another chick for food, though.
He was doing it for jollof rice. What are you talking about?
Let me finish now.
Sorry, I kind of went ahead. Hold on.
Didn't really believe in cooking, didn't really cook like that. So I had a female best friend who I would always go to, and she'll make me like loads of jollof rice and like fried rice. So now
Beating her, though.
that's not important.
You see?
Let me finish my question. So my question is, I want to understand where do you women stand on that in general?
Like, it could be over a matter of £100.
Yeah. In general, when your man goes to another female friend that does something that maybe you can't really do or you can't really cater to matter. I think every relationship should have a standard principle where you don't go to any other spouse or any other female friend or male friend for to get.
You went to another chick for food, though.
He was doing it for jollof rice. What are you talking about?
Let me finish now.
Let me finish. Yes.
And grill fish, oh my God.
Sometimes you talk too fast, you talk too quickly, you have not paid attention. Dami is somebody, listen, when someone shifts position like that, the reason why is because they were trying to fit in, right? Most cases. Now, I think Dami was trying to be the boys, but in reality of the situation, he adjusted to what the truth actually is within himself. We call that outward conformity, right? You conform outwardly, but inwardly you disagree. But you don't want to go against the grain of the group. Now, that might indicate that you're not very strong you're not a very strong candidate, right? Because people that are strong in mind will be like, I don't care, it's my opinion. I don't really care, right? It is what it is, right? So, but he didn't do that. Right? Now, I want to give him the benefit of the doubt and say maybe he changed his mind during the course of the conversation. Didn't sound like that, but let me give him that grace. But whenever you change your mind like that so quickly, that's why they're now laughing at you. And let me tell you something, women don't like flip-flops, so he should check that real quick. going from choose a side, like die on the whatever side you're on, because women will love somebody who dies on either side. That's why women date bad boys and date good guys, because at least a bad boy is committed to that lifestyle. They date criminals because they're committed to that lifestyle. They date men that are might be considered not the most handsome or the most funniest or the most richest, whatever, as long as that person's committed to whatever they're committed to, because they like the safety of that person's routine and that fact that they know that this person is committed to this particular thing. Right? It makes them feel safe, knowing that you're going to always be this kind of way. Don't flip-flop, makes them feel scared. Now, so in that space, he's unfortunately gone back on his own point. He's a shapeshifter. He's shape-shifted in that minute moment, right? Because he did it. He went outside his relationship. Now, he actually gave some good wisdom at the end, because really and truly, you shouldn't go outside your relationship. You should know this. You shouldn't go out with a friend like this, right? But you said in your little cut scene, which is after, that you felt like, you know what? You need a woman to support you. So it's a little bit of a double tongue there a little bit as well from him. So that was a little bit hot. I don't know what was going on there for him. Let me go on to Lois as well, because I felt Lois was really, I think out of all the ladies, this young lady here in white and then Lois as well, I think we're really balanced. And they had, especially Lois as well. Now I know obviously Lois done a little cheating back in her past, on her husband, but I'm gonna give her some grace because you know what, she talks sensibly. You know what I mean? She talks sensibly, and I heard some balance in the sense of she was trying to have a dialogue of conversation, and I think that's where you're gonna get better understanding as well. So let's just have a little listen.
It's money, sometimes it's sex, sometimes it's children, you understand? So for me, it's a thing of, I need to know that your previous lifestyle won't affect me now. I need to know that you're going to be able to carry out those repayments. That's if your family, even my own child, I need to know you can handle this. I'm not going to make a stupid decision based on something you want, even if I benefit from it.
But you should know that by the time you get married, though.
Even if I benefit from it, even if I look good in the car as a passenger princess, whatever, I don't care, because you see me, I don't live beyond my means. Let me tell you now, any man that wants a woman that's a yes man is weak. You should want a woman that's going to challenge you, that's going to make you the best that you can be. If you cannot handle 35k, you're not getting it, and that's it. I'm not selfish, I'm looking out for you.
Now, she told me a little bit like a man would tell me, that's the only thing about it, Lois. I need you just to chill a little bit. This is my face, gonna be having some problems. But what she said is very sensible, right? I don't live beyond my means, and I need to know that you're gonna actually pay these payments back. See, that's the extra conversation that needs to actually be happening, right? And that shows us we're thinking. That shows us that we're not just reacting off emotion, off the original dilemma. Right, which the original dilemma, I said, listen, there are a bunch of questions. I had like 14 questions I said I had to ask myself, because I was like, there's so many things going on. Why is that woman who's your best friend just taking out a loan for you without actually even considering anything? Why did your wife say no? I mean, why did you go behind your wife's back? And where are your male friends? Why couldn't they send you the money? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's a whole bunch of questions there. So the fact that Lois had an extra additive of conversation to say, hey, look, do you know what? I have to think beyond this point. I think it was a bit more balanced as well. That I don't live beyond my means, and I appreciate that, because she's saying that, listen, hey, look, we don't have to go beyond and try to do the craziest thing. Let's focus with what we have, the resources we have, and let's maintain and grow. The Bible says, that he who's faithful over little will be faithful over much. So be faithful over the little that you have. You know what I mean? And she talks about her lifestyle can manage this. And that how you have to prove you have to make these payments. Now, she said a little point I think was really powerful. I want to play this part here.
But emotions allow us to explore different things.
You got to prove to the bank you can do these repayments. You got to be able to prove to me too.
But what I'm saying is, in the relationship, I'm the guy that has a vision and a dream, and you're the person that's got stability. And I need you to get this car out for me so that I can go and get more clients to do more things.
Now, of course, as she said, you need to prove this to me too, because you got to prove to the bank, which I understand. I when I was younger, I wouldn't have understood it, but I understand, because it's a safety thing, right? Again, there's a little bit of fear behind that, but it's a safety thing. Like, show me that you're good for it, because your previous history, like I said before, tells us that you're not very good with financial repayments. So it's understandable why someone's going to question you, because your financial payments are a little bit booky. Right? They're a little bit booky. Let's just keep it a buck and keep it honest. So that's also really important as well. But, Gabs, the one in the white t-shirt who's talking to her, right? He was arguing from a place of dreams and emotions and saying, look, hey, just believe in me, which I totally understand. But we have to be also honest as well, right? Potential is more than just my belief and my dreams and me just saying it. I need to see some actionable plans. And you buying a 35k car tells me you're not actually actioning an actual plan. 35k loan don't make no sense to me when you're not actually active in your credit, my guy. You know what I'm saying to you? Not active in your credit at all. My last person I want to deal with is King Riches, just because he was the first one that spoke. Shout out to him. I've actually messaged him. He's actually a cool guy as well. I know he was with Just Do It Pearl some last year as well, and everything as well. So
Put her in debt. What are you talking about? They're married,
Do you
bro.
know how happens to be a... Listen, don't go too crazy.
Hold on.
She's not a helpmate.
I don't want to give you 35 bags.
She's your wife, and she's not helping you.
I'm already stressed out.
Bro, you're married, bro. Like, what do you mean?
So you should put us both in debt for a car that depreciates as soon as you take it out of the lot.
He's not gonna put her in debt. What are you talking about? They're married,
Do you
bro.
know how many times a woman has taken out something in her name for a man?
Insecurity.
Me, I'll break it.
You're married. If you're in a marriage, that's you to your team now, innit? Obviously, you had to go and find some help from somebody else, and it just so happened that someone else has a vagina too, and now she's angry, bro. If she wants to leave, you can leave, bro.
Why are you not getting...
Now, listen, let me be honest with you. It's my last one I'm going to break down. Now, Kim Richards is a very interesting individual because obviously he's a leader of this particular group, right? You can see that the position he takes on the position he takes in the crew, he's in the middle. You can see he's standing a little bit forward in front of the men, and he's holding a lot of the ground in terms of the conversation too, right? Tells Cookie to shut up, and Cookie tells him to shut his mouth. Love it. So he's playing the alpha male role in this particular instance. But what I'm going to say is, right, the argument fell dead, right? The argument that he had didn't make no sense. Just going to be honest with you. Like King Richards, I don't think he's a bad guy, but the argument was dead. Yeah, because in reality, the situation, and whilst I say it's dead, there's some truth to what he was saying, right? You are in a relationship, you're in a marriage, you married him, so therefore, you have to understand. But what Lois said, the one in the white shirt said, well, you married me, and you knew what I was going to be like. So you see how the argument dies? And this is why we're saying that you can't play this game with somebody. In a marriage, you have to, the only win is when we both have understanding. There is no win when I win. If I win when I win, the relationship won't last very long because a person builds up resentment for the fact that they keep losing. So when we win, it's because we have understanding and we come together. We don't win when I dominate you. I don't win when I get my way. So I do understand what you're saying about the helpmate. Yes, the helpmate's got to be there to support me, help me, grow me. Yeah. But the reality situation, sometimes as well, the helpmate's going to tell you that's a bad idea. And it's going to affect the whole entire family when you do that. Poor leadership leads to poor following, and poor following leads to the death of the relationship. We don't need that. Right? So you need a partner who's also going to say, hey, babe, I see this and I know what you're trying to achieve, but I don't think it's going to work for us. Getting out that 35K loan when at the moment when your credit's bad, let's fix the credit. Let's see how we can get the 35K then that way. Right? That's what a good helpmate is going to do. So I just felt like, obviously, I heard his points. I didn't understand. But it sounded a little bit selfish, where it's like it's only considering about his dream and I got to get this done, I got to do this. But actually, it's a team thing. You're in a relationship, so you can't expect a woman to be team and now she's not playing team when she decides to say no. No, she's still your teammate. Like if I say no, you're basically saying I can't say no. And that's kind of scary. If you're telling me that I can't say no, then I'm not a teammate to you. Then what you're doing is what equivalent of what you're saying a woman in that example is also doing when she said no, right? And then wants to leave the relationship because he took the loan out already. Like if you run to extremes, you cause your relationship carnage. We don't want to run to extremes, right? We want to keep a level-headed measure, all right? So I'm going to leave it there. Hope you guys obviously enjoyed the little breakdown. This was part 2, but yeah, we'll see you guys soon once more again. Much love, much appreciation. See you soon.